The Turkish lira tumbled more than 1% against the US dollar after President Recep Tayyip Erdogan called for the expulsion of ambassadors from 10 countries, including Germany and the United States, who had appealed for the release of a jailed civil society leader. Financial market experts are saying that Erdogan is trying to distract from Turkey's desolate economic situation. Inflation there has reached almost 20%, and the central bank has just cut its lending rate by a full 2 points, possibly making matters worse. Here's what people on the streets of Istanbul have to say about the situation.
It's gotten so bad we can hardly survive now.
I'm afraid because I don't know if I can still make a living tomorrow. The situation is very bad, and we don't know if it's going to get better or not.
It's very bad. I got my salary and look, I spent 250 lira just for this.
People should be thankful for this situation. Do they know where we were 20, 30 or 50 years ago? Look how far we've come. But if some people can't be satisfied, what can you do?
I can't buy anything. If I want to buy a coat, I wait for a discount. But the coat gets even more expensive than last month. Why? Because the dollar has increased against the lira. It's not the same as the last month.
Well, those were the voices we caught on the streets of Istanbul. And for more on the situation in Turkey, I'm joined now by Erdal Yalçin, Professor of International Economics at the University of Applied Sciences in Constance. Good to have you with us. Before we start about the economy, let's start with the political rift between Ankara and its Western allies. There are people who say that Erdogan simply wants to deflect from Turkey's economic woes. Do you agree?
Well, indeed, what we see in the last days, but also months, is a Turkish government that is politically isolated, increasingly confronted with an ailing economy and also a dissatisfaction in the Turkish society. And it looks like that the government has no roadmap at hand how to handle the situation. So the strategy seems to be to basically create a narrative that there are foreign forces trying to harm Turkey. And with this narrative, the government tries to gather the remaining supporters, but this is not going to help, certainly not to reach a turning point for the ailing economy.
So you say the government does not have a roadmap. What about the Turkish central bank? It's just reduced its policy rate. The state banks are following suit. Both a rather unusual step in this current situation. What's the rationale behind this move?
Well, first of all, let me mention the Turkish central bank announces 200 basis points drop in its policy rate, but there is a broad consensus that the president himself of the Turkish Republic gave an order to reduce the interest rate. So there is no independent central bank in Turkey anymore. And the logic of the government seems to be there is a hope that with these low interest rates, the lira will weaken, and therefore Turkish exports will, in the coming month, be supported, and simultaneously lower interest rates in Turkey will make credits cheaper, and this should support domestic demand and hence growth. However, this is a very simplified assessment of the economic relationships. The major problem of Turkey is its high inflation. And unfortunately, the policy decision of the central bank or the president's decision is going to spur inflation further on. This is going to harm the Turkish economy more. Just to give you some examples, what will happen is people are going to change their savings into dollar. Dollarization is going to increase. Foreign investors are going to leave the country. This is going to harm investment, and this is going to increase the problems of the Turkish economy.
Just briefly, you mentioned already capital flight obviously is a problem. Where does this leave the economy, which is already ailing?
Well, the direct effect will be a continuous weakening of the Turkish lira. And the problem of a weakening lira is, of course, Turkish goods become cheaper, but Turkey is importing a lot of goods, in particular on the energy sector and also on the agricultural sector, meaning that the inflation is going to increase, and this again is going to result in a higher capital flight. No investment is going to take in Turkey anymore, or investment is declining. As a result, output is shrinking, and this basically means prices will increase. Inflation is again increasing. So it's a vicious circle. It's only accelerating the problems. Therefore, from an economic point of view, it's an irrational step. It's a political decision. It's not an economic decision.
Professor Yalcin, as always, thank you so much for sharing your insights with us.
I thank you very much.
And of course, financial markets are also following the events in Turkey. Konrad Busen stands by for us at the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. Konrad, against the euro, the Lira even lost 6%. That is a new record low. What's the word on the floor?
Well, of course, this is causing lots of nervousness, lots of disruption on the financial markets. You know, ratings agencies are, of course, on high alert, as are many investors who have put money into Turkey. For them, the question is, who wants to hold a loan? Who wants to hold an asset in a currency that's as unpredictable as the Turkish lira? And for the many German companies who are operative in Turkey with thousands of employees there, the question, of course, in the long run is, what shall we do with our engagement in Turkey? Shall we keep it, or shall we rather get out of the country?
All right. Difficult situation. Konrad Busen in Frankfurt. Thank you.